Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be looking at Dimash's Stranger from the New Wave concert in 2021. And I'm looking forward to this. This was suggested after I did the Ave Maria reaction about a month ago. And so I'm looking forward to hearing what he brings to this particular performance. Whenever Dimash is at the New Wave concert, he does really an amazing job performing. And so I'm very interested to see what he has to offer. So, with that, let me just get my head on straight and we will begin.
Спасибо. Спасибо огромное. А теперь прозвучит новая песня. Примеры.
Okay, we're going to stop there. This was an amazing opening. And again, I always love the New Wave concert series because they're very theatrical in their production. Their production value is just amazing, and I wish more billionaires in the United States would spend money on music festivals like this. I think we'd have a different approach and a different feel toward music overall. And I think uh, American music would be in a different place if we allowed things like this to happen, or if people would put on productions like this. And I think it's really amazing. And so one of the things that I noticed, unless I'm missing something, did he change in that? But that's a different conversation. So I'm going to take it back a little bit so that we can finish this opening section. It's very I will say it's Celtic in a lot of ways. These the background singers and the these guys here, they're dressed much like monks and nuns from the ancient Catholic traditions. So it's very interesting to see that. The sound itself is very Celtic in in my ear. So if you want to correct me, please feel free. And again, I believe this is new wave. So I believe Igor Krutoy, I believe I saw his name at the beginning, is spearheading the sound of this particular production. So I'm going to back up, and we'll continue on from where he picks up.
You crown far as I can see. You crown underneath my feet. Stranger in a stranger's land. New chance to know who I am if I have the strength to begin again.
I really love and again, I know his English is not perfect, but it is absolutely amazing in terms of how it's progressed over the past 5 years that 4 or 5 years that he has been in the spotlight. This is an amazing song. I like the fact that even though I mentioned that it was Celtic, there's also the traditional instruments uh, from Kazakhstan in there, and it's not the dombra, it is the other instrument, and I can't remember the name of it. But again, he does a really great job, and this is the great thing that this new wave concert does is it brings a theatrical approach to um, singing, and it brings the performance aspect of singing to the forefront. So I'm going to go back a little bit so that we can get back into this from a couple of seconds ago. And then I'm going to try to pause less in this particular video. I've already paused more than I probably want to, but I do have to pause partially because of copyright. So I will be pausing here and there, but I'm going to try to keep it to a minimum.
Somewhere in my heart, in ancient times, I wandered through these valleys. I have climbed them on these hills. Faces from our past have haunted by their memories. I've said lost, I've lost, I feel them in me sing.
I really love from that particular point forward the thing that I always talk about Dimash is that he's a vocal rhetorician, and by that I mean he knows how to use all the registers and all the tools within his toolkit to bring out whatever emotion he needs to do within either a phrase or a passage within a song. And here he went through several passages. So at the beginning he started with that and he moved that into all of these different areas of the voice. And so I have to give props to the audio engineer, because whoever does his audio engineer has to be on top of things, because he can go super silent to super loud in a nanosecond. And it's obviously a communication a strong communication bond that they have together, because it always sounds beautiful when he sings, and it's very easy for an audio engineer to screw things up. And I saw that in the Earth Song duet that he had with the rapper, and that was just, it was interesting to see that. But again, the other thing, and then I will get back to the performance, is I've listened to a couple of Igor Krutoy songs, and I've listened to his versions of other songs that Dimash has performed over time. And the one thing that I love about Igor Krutoy is his use of percussion. And I'm just going to let that go at that. You guys can talk about it, but he's really good at using percussion to move the lines along, and to me it's very reminiscent of when I was growing up in terms of pop music and what was expected back then. And it's refreshing to see that still in the music of Igor Krutoy. So I'm going to go back and we'll
underneath my feet. Stranger in a stranger.
I love his intensity. He's in a very large room and he's center stage, but the interesting thing is that he doesn't let his face go blank. He's he's living this particular moment in his mind and his face is expressing it. And it's just it again, this is something that we're always drawn to with Dimash is that at all the high notes, all the low notes, all of the movement that he did there between the low registers all the way through to it was just around the whistle register. That's all great. And then he comes down here, and then now he's back to telling that story, and he's using all of that extra, all the other stuff that he's doing. And it's not extra, it's just all the other stuff that he's doing to set the scene and to re intensify the mood of the song. And so now he's bringing it back down into the small space and he's back to telling the story and carrying this.
New ground underneath my feet. Stranger in a stranger's land. New chance, don't know who I am. We will have this strength to begin.
Dimash Krutoy.
Igor Krutoy.
That last note, again, I can't even find that note in my mind to even attempt to know how I would even try. It's amazing. And again, I'm not claiming to be in his register, but that note, soprano high C. I don't know. It could be somewhere around there. It wasn't. It's not as normal like F. I don't think. But um, and it was just full voice, and it was just up there, and he just locked and loaded. And if you are looking for someone to emulate in terms of how to hold a note, Dimash, Lara Fabian, all of those people are just amazing at what they do. I mean, they all just, I call it locking and loading. You find the note, you hold it, and then what you do is you just find a spot on the wall and you just put all your energy of that note and maintaining that note into that moment, into that space in the wall. And but again, it's the intensity that Dimash brings to his performances that's just amazing. And and it's something that Americans really should take note of. We're not going to be Dimashes, and we may not even be Lara Fabians, and we're not going to be Diana Ankudinovas, But the thing is we need to bring back some of the stuff that we left behind somewhere around 1996, where we had these really heavy duty powerhouse singers who could really just hold their own without music. Because a lot of this song here, the accompaniment didn't necessarily help Dimash. It wasn't designed to help him. It wasn't going against him, but it wasn't underneath him for him to catch on to. It was all on him to know which notes to sing where and how to perform it. And that is performance. And that's something that he's learned over time, and he's a very well educated man in his field as well as in performance. And so I don't want to take up too much more of this time, but the other thing that I want to point out, and I hope I can catch this, but if you check Igor Krutoy, one of the great things about him, and I don't know his backstory or anything like this, is that when he designs stuff for other people, it isn't necessarily about him. So he will take his bow, which he does right after this, I believe. He stands up next to the piano and he applauds for the artist. But it isn't about him standing in the middle and taking responsibility of the whole thing, even though pretty much the way that I understand it, this entire festival is about him. And and again, this is the great thing about performances like this, and Igor Krutoy as an artist and as a philanthropist, as a person who uses his wealth to provide spaces for people to come forward. I don't know the backstory of it, but basically, this is awesome. And I know he's been doing this for years, and he's been bringing international talent to his stages for years and giving them an elaborate, beautiful place to perform every year. With that, I'm going to let you guys go. I talk way too much in Dimash videos and it gets me in trouble. So take it out in the comments. My apologies for blithering on and on. Again, leave your comments below. Have a conversation. That space is for you to have a conversation if you so choose. But other than that, I'm going to let you guys enjoy your day. And as always, be safe.